Hi again, welcome back to the channel. A wee speeded up front sprocket swap over here as I'm now returning to standard gearing. And this is why has this come about then? Well, just sort of general riding, what I've been doing, and I've been wondering if my bike's too tall geared for the power output. And so I did put it out to you guys, previous film there, and the response has been great. Everybody's been really cool with the responses, and some of the guys, Stevie, you've done a brilliant response, as you've actually been mucking around a lot more than most of us with your 350, disengaging the ABS braking and stuff, and you've tested different stuff, and the consensus seems to be that standard gearing actually works perfect when the bike is anyway restricted to 73 or 72 whatever mile an hour electronically. And I did enjoy the higher gearing originally, so I just thought it's actually never that fast top end now, even though it only does 73. To get it up to 70, 73 was actually quite hard. Headwinds, hills, but also it's quite hard to explain this, right? You need to put a 16 tooth on your bike and try it on your 350 and try this and come back with the same results possibly. Only through the comments has there been a couple of people who went to 16 tooth and come back and said they're back to stock 15 tooth standard gearing. So anyway, we'll get this done and we'll get out on the road and I'll try and explain it better. So that was Friday afternoon. Saturday morning I was up again early and back out on the bike. It wasn't as good the weather today. It was brightening up though as the day went on. And basically I headed up for some back roads, give the bike a wee workout. So my bike has done nearly 5,000 miles, and I changed the 16 tooth sprocket around 2,000 miles I believe, after I fitted a DCAT and a DNA stage 3 air filler, which is obviously a K&N style air filter and an open end cap for the airbox. Some folk don't like the noise induction roar of it. I don't mind it. Doesn't bother me. I didn't buy a DCAT pipe at the time, they were out of stock. They came in and sold very quickly. When I bought my Enfield, they'd been out for 6 months in the UK, so folk were buying them and fitting them. And anyway, so I googled around and folk have just put straight pipes on between the silencers and the front pipes, which is what I did with a 12-pound bit of stainless pipe with a 42mm inside diameter. I then fitted an open-ended shorty silencer. It was a bit of a cheap, nasty one via India, which is pure build quality, but I just wanted a freer flowing exhaust to complement the freer breathing air intake. So you've got to remember, all this is done under trials of the first 6 months of folk in the UK, and most folk sort of came to the same conclusion that the bikes are restricted with the exhaust systems and the air intake. So freeing that up should make the bike run better, and singles traditionally like to breathe, and I know that from having Honda XR Enduro bikes. They don't like being restricted at all in the pipes and stuff. So while this was going on, people had previously done this with the 350 Meteor before the Classic came out. Now the Meteor has a smaller back wheel, it's got 17-inch diameter, and it seems to spin the engine up quicker. And as most Meteor owners will come on here and tell me, that the Meteors do a higher top end quicker than the Classic 350. Also, the Classic 350 is a heavier bike. So I've basically kind of worked out myself through riding that while I liked the naturally lower revving feel of the higher gearing, in my head I was thinking that this bike's like a Bullet 500, and it's a 2-valve long stroke low revving engine, but it isn't like the Classic 500. It isn't a heavy flywheel long stroke plodding thumping engine with bags of torque. Now what this engine is a modern engine. It's modern design and it's a revvy engine, and it loves to be revved. And I guess the people that will notice this will be the people that buy the Hunters, the latest of the three versions of this engine bike, because the riding position ergonomics of that bike is for, like, you know, head down, giving it the berries. Not to say you can't do it on a Meteor or a Classic. And as the miles I've went on my bike, I've actually realised that this bike loves to be revved, and you can't hit the rev limiter in 4/5. I've not managed to do it, and I've done a lot of miles, and you've seen my videos. I gain it through the gears. Here you go, straight up to 70, down a hill obviously. Wind is on my east, so it's on my right, and the bike's singing. This bike loves to rev, and you should just give it the beans. It loves it. So yeah, it looks like an old British bike. It looks like classic styling, but it has a modern engine that loves to rev, so just do that. Now you're restricted to 72, 73, whatever. I don't know what the exact number is. Everybody says something different. But all I can say is you ain't going to harm this engine riding it like I am just now. So here at 60, the engine, you can hear it's not revving that hard. I'm more or less got the throttle on the stop, but it doesn't suit my mind. But what's happening is it's getting up to 60, 65 a lot easier on the stock gearing than it does on the higher gearing. So, right, none of us knew. We all thought gearing these bikes up to make them better. And I know from owning Honda XR 600s and 400s that those bikes benefited from higher gearing, but those bikes weren't restricted in any way. They're just full-on power enduro bikes, and you'd be surprised how fast they bikes can go, believe me. It was the low gearing for off-road with close ratio gearboxes that kept the top speeds of those bikes down. But as you can see here, it's more than fast enough on these roads. So anyway, I'm going to go up here and get a photo, because I do like a photograph or two when I'm out on my bike. Funny enough, after caning the bike there, I don't actually smell oil or burning engine smells at all. All I can smell is paint, because I repainted my exhaust last night with PG1 fast black exhaust paint. 17 quid a tin now for that aerosol, but it is good stuff. So anyway, so what else then? If you think about a 350cc, probably the fastest 350cc ever made was the RD 350LC, and that was a twin cylinder liquid cooled 2-stroke, and my mates had them, and they had them tuned Stan Stevens stage 2, stage 3 tuning, and those bikes were mental. but it had a lifespan of hundreds, if not 1,000 miles, you know. And what this bike is a bike that you're going to go out to every morning, hit that starter button, it's going to start every morning and get you to where you're going. And it's more than capable of taking you touring. And there's a real sort of, what's the word, stigma about big bikes in Britain. Folk are obsessed with these huge big motorbikes, Beamers, BMWs and stuff. And when we were up at Glenshee, the A93 is an amazing looking road, and all I seen was big massive motorbikes on it, and I just thought, everybody's overbiked. If you actually went up there on a KTM Supermoto single, you would just wipe the floor with them. You would. I mean, I hate big bikes for that reason, because motorbikes are more fun on country roads and small roads. So anyway, back to the Classic. I'm more than happy with this now. It accelerates really fast. Stock was the opened up exhaust and air intake, and fuel consumption I'm not sure, because I don't keep it in eco range. I'm not really bothered about that anymore, because it's so cheap to run. Even if it's only doing 80 to the gallon, it's still cheap. So we'll end that review, and most of you have said the same already in the comments to my questions. All I'm going to say is, look at the width of this gate. That's the width of agricultural vehicles after World War II, and how things have changed. So anyway, I hope this all makes a bit of sense and you enjoyed that. And I've got loads of films to do, so I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.